Hello, I'm That Casual Gaming Guy, and welcome back to another episode of Tall Oaks Zoo. In this episode, we're going to work on our wolves habitat. Now, full disclosure, I recorded this episode, at least the videos and the build for it, back in February before the pandemic hit. And then once the pandemic hit, which I'll talk about a little bit later, what was going on in my life when it hit, everything just kind of stopped. I lost interest actually for a little bit. And now that everything's back on track, this will be the last episode of Tall Oaks Zoo for a while. And at the end of the episode, I will be teasing what's to come. We're going to start a whole new zoo. I've got some Planet Coaster stuff planned. Especially after entering a contest for Channel 5 Gaming. Shout out to Johnny and the crew. And the contest took place in the beginning of the summer. The contest itself, the build time was from mid-June to, I believe, the end of July. No, August 10th. That's what it was. And then there were hundreds of entries all across the board. Now, this is a Discord channel, Channel 5 Gaming, that is great for the community for both Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster. So I definitely recommend that if you are playing these games, to go ahead and look for the Channel 5 Gaming Discord. If you look for their YouTube channel, you'll find a link to their Discord, and come join the community. We're always looking for people to share our experiences with. I'm very happy to be a part of that community. I'm even a Patreon of Channel 5 Gaming. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about what is actually going on the screen here. What I'm doing is building the perimeter for the wolves' habitat. I decided to add a water area and a water feature for this. Wolves don't need it, per se. It's not a requirement within the game. But I just wanted to play around with doing a retaining wall and having the water go right up to it and stuff like that. Because especially now, after this was recorded, there was a couple of DLCs released. I don't remember if during this one the South America's DLC was out yet, but then we got the Australia pack, I believe it was, and then now we're getting the Aquatic pack. Tomorrow actually will actually be out as of the time you're watching this. I'm recording this on the 7th of December. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons, too, that I'm starting a new zoo is all these new DLCs. I've got stuff that I want to do, and it's better to start off with a new zoo for that. You know, to put in new habitats and to just to design it not necessarily better, because I wouldn't say that I've had horrible designs. I wouldn't say I've had the best either. I'm not, going to brag or anything. I'll let my mom do that for me. No, honestly, though, she'll tell me when I'm being an idiot. Like, she'll probably tell me in just a second after listening to this. But, yeah, no. So I decided with this build that I wanted, a certain aesthetic and wanted the retaining wall. I had seen it done on another YouTuber's builds, and I was like, let me try this. So I did, and I think it turns out really, really cool, especially once I get the water in there, and then I build up a little mountain and put a waterfall in to the side. So it's rather interesting. And then trying to get the land to be level on the bottom yet not coming through the wall is definitely interesting, to say the least. So, back to this whole wonderful situation we all find ourselves in within the world. And when it started, I was on a trip with my former high school with their robotics team to go to competition in Arizona. I live in California, if you didn't know. So we were all the way in Arizona, and then all this really started hitting America in the beginning of March, and we were getting ready to compete. We were there. What my high school does is they get there like not a week early, but beginning of the week. Competition's usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then travel back on Sunday. But we get there early. We do stuff like museums and various companies. Like one time we went to Plexus and Micron and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool what the teachers do for this group. It's awesome, and that's why I'm a part of it and a mentor. It's just awesome. But we were there already, and we had just gone to a viral research place the first day we got there, and we talked about what was going on and what they were actually at that facility doing to learn about the virus. So it was pretty cool. And then everything hit the fan. The competition was canceled in Flagstaff, and then we were able to get into a Southern California competition, and so we drove there. When we got everything loaded in, everything built, we helped them build the stage for the competition, and that's when California's governor decided to put us on shelter in place. Everything got canceled, and we had to come home. So that was kind of a bit of a bummer. These poor kids, especially the seniors, that was their last time to compete. But it just wasn't meant to be. And it's right now how I feel about it. I'm glad that's how it happened, looking at how it's been. So yeah, I would say I definitely understand how everything went down, to say the least. So yeah, so back to what we're watching, and less of me just talking random. So we hollowed out a little bit of a cave, put in, a viewing area back behind where the wolves' den would be. And now we're working on our waterfall, and off camera I went ahead and I put the waterfall in because I was testing it and making sure I had it right, and that's a process. That is a huge process. So now we're just putting, the foliage and stuff in. And stuff that I did earlier, this whole area, is the Northern America, or the Americas, because it's also going to be some Southern America, towards the back. But a lot of this is, all these hills and stuff are going to be part of that design and everything. But no, I had, I remember doing a lot of this and just, I had fun. This is one of my favorite builds, for sure. Especially that waterfall. That waterfall's awesome. One of the things that you'll notice is as I'm putting all this stuff in and all this enrichment and the food feeders, stuff like that, I had the black wildebeest checked as well as the timberwolf. So a lot of the stuff I put in was not right, and the wolves were just not happy. They were like, what's this? Type of a thing. Alrighty, so I had to put all these staff buildings for the area in, just like I did with the East Asian and African areas. So now I'm making the facades for the buildings. And one of the things that I had to do to get the staff to be able to go to the underground area of the wolves' den was I had to build an underground path. So the pathing in this right here, I'm not exactly happy with how it went down, but I'm not exactly mad at it either. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, this was to me an interesting idea. These walls, really interesting. It's slats, and it just didn't quite work out. I don't remember if I put them back on, but that's something I would love to do. Something I learned doing this contest for Planet Coaster was that I'm not doing enough as far as like trim and details. And that's coming from the guys over on Channel 5. It's one of the things that, is kind of lacking, I guess you could say. I'm doing a little bit better here, on most of my builds actually, but it's just, there's always room for more, is what I'm seeing in my mind, or hearing in my mind. Well, you get what I mean. So it's always room for more. Always. I wanted this like ski chalet kind of aesthetic, with the really high-pitched roof that you would see in areas that get heavy snow. So I decided to go with that for the roof of the upper portion of this building. And I think it works out really, really well. And then, it kind of flattens out there on the bottom half. But yeah, I think it turned out really well. I think the only thing that I might consider if I were to go back and do this is, like I was talking about with the trim and everything and how that works. And I even decided to do my own supports for the pathing, which is one thing that I haven't done before, which is really interesting. And then I decided to go ahead and do my awnings here with steel support beams, which I think turned out pretty interesting. Although they may need, if I didn't correct them, they may need end caps there on the on the ends of those. It's a little raw, but we'll see what I did. I don't quite remember as of recording this and watching it. So I'm just looking, always looking for, pieces and what works, what fits, what looks good. So there's a lot of that you see in my videos is just me looking, okay, what's this look like? Okay, what's this look like? Does this work? Will this work? Will that work? And I came up with this glass design. And I think it just looks rather interesting. It's a little, I wouldn't say that it's much, but it's definitely a little Star of David kind of in there a little bit, but no worries, it's all good. But the design and the shadow I think that it makes is actually really cool. Yeah, that's what happened. And then I realized it wasn't going to work. So I went ahead and probably went back this conventional way of just using the wooden slats. So there's that. Unfortunately, that's sometimes what has to happen just to make things look good and stuff, even though that the glass would have been pretty dang awesome. It just wasn't meant to be, and back to another wooden slat kind of awning. But, that's okay. And then I decided to put it on the side here. I did fix it. I knew I wasn't going to leave that, kind of open-ended. That's pretty cool. See, it's like I'm watching it the first time with you. So, like I said in the beginning of the video, I recorded this back in February. So it's, not really fresh in my mind as to what I did. Oh, and that's it. That's everything. So, alrighty then, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I am That Casual Gaming Guy. I also go by Steven, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.